Welcome to the Upper Live Beyond series, where we will be looking into the stories and lives of ordinary South Africans who turned a challenge into a unique opportunity. My name is Danielle Bowler and I'm a writer, editor and host, and I will be your host today as we discuss all things beauty. All of you occupy such different spaces in the beauty realm and such necessary spaces, and I'm so excited and interested in hearing your particular and unique stories. We know that thanks to the digital age, a whole new realm of opportunity has opened up to creative entrepreneurs like yourselves, and barriers to entry that would have been impossible to break down have now lowered a little bit thanks to technology and connectivity. And there's much still to be done, but what we're seeing is the rise of, an increasing rise of, women-owned businesses in beauty, and these are businesses that we know are the building blocks of economic and community empowerment. And I'm hoping you'll speak to this a little bit today, but just to get us started, I'd like you to just introduce yourselves and what you do, and we'll start on the end.
Hi, and thank you so much. My name is Mathebe Molise, and I own a digital platform called Beauty on Tap that retails a whole lot of beauty brands and cosmetics. And I also own a beauty brand called Pastry Skincare, which focuses more on body care and recently now face care. Yeah, so that's my contribution to the beauty industry.
Hi, my name is Mellissa Roberts and I am a content creator and social media influencer and all-round creative.
I'm Tendani Ramovha. I am the owner of Tens Retail. We manufacture products and make it possible for women out there to start their own beauty brands. We formulate safe products, and what we do is very customized to different businesses. So that's really what we do. We've just launched a Tens.skin, our own brand that is focusing now for body care.
Mm-hmm. Thanks so much, everyone. And I think that, gathered here, there's so many different aspects of the beauty industry that we have, from consumer facing to like B2B facing. And I think that that's going to enable us to have a really rich conversation about what it means to be in the beauty industry, which is really a multifaceted space. And as a beauty lover myself, it's something that I'm particularly interested in. I think just to kick off our conversation, how did your beauty business start and how much has technology aided your business? And I think I'm going to start off with Missy because yours is very technology focused and couldn't have been possible in the same ways back in the day. So can you talk a bit to it?
Okay, when did my beauty business start? Well, my business as a content creator, I'd say started officially somewhere in 2016, where I started creating content specifically with the purpose of being a content creator. But I would say I was always in sort of the influencing space. Back in Twitter and Facebook days, I would do a lot of promoting for different brands and different establishments, and I just started building an audience that way. And I always wanted to be in the entertainment and media space. And somewhere along the line, I came across YouTube videos of girls abroad doing tutorials and doing their hair. And I saw they were sort of doing this as a job. And I thought that it would probably head that way in South Africa. So I started making hair content and makeup content. And then shortly after that, I started receiving PR drops. Brands started noticing me. And I was working in radio at the time. And there was this, actually, that's when I met you, I think. And then, I started getting invited to events. I started getting PR drops. And then I started booking paid campaigns for particularly hair care. And one at that stage, one of my campaigns was paying more than my whole month's salary for that month. And I thought, whoa, this could actually be something that I do and could pursue as a career.
Mm-hmm. And I think that that's such a common story or narrative these days. I mean, as you were talking, I was thinking about the fact that we were speaking earlier and I was saying I was doing someone's makeup as a job for the first time, only because I post my own makeup.
That's crazy, right? And who would have thought? I was already sort of sharing my life on social media, sharing what I do on social media, and that became something that I could do for work, and it's something that I just normally do.
Yeah, and in exactly that space which becomes, a space of learning, a space of sharing. I don't know if I'd know as much as I do about beauty without that space of either Instagram or that space of YouTube, and all the sites of our digitally connected lives. And I wanna come to you, Tendani, because what you do is a little bit different in the formulation space. So can you talk a little bit about your beauty business and how it started?
So if I look 10 years ago and where I am today, I don't think I would have ever imagined myself manufacturing cosmetic products. My goal was really to climb the corporate ladder and one day be one of those CEOs, women, that's really what I wanted to do. And through that, I ended up having to study a lot in the chemistry side, biochemistry, microbiology, marketing, sales. And being in corporate, I've done the 4 general marketing stuff that you do. And it just happened that I was unhappy at my last job and decided to look for something different. I had seen the opportunity of cosmetics within South Africa. It was growing very, very well. And when you look at the 5-year projections, they were showing a very high return. So I then left my work in February 2020, and not knowing that we're going to have this COVID for such a long time, I then found myself unemployed and looking at what was happening, thinking I might not have a job very soon, so I need to start something. And when I was starting to check what is that I need to do, it all came back to cosmetics. We all see YouTube channels, and that's where I started to really investigate. And I just loved this manufacturing kind of work. But what I loved about it most is I didn't have to really invest heavily, so it was easy for me to break into the industry. I then realized that I don't have the background, I don't have the experience, I need to go and study. And that's when I enrolled in a formulator course. This was a beginner's one. You take a year, and I finished it in 3 months. And that's how eager I was to start this business. A year later, I had a formulator diploma in advanced formulation, and I just decided, let me start making products for other people. And I don't want to make the same products for everyone. I want it customized per what you're looking for in terms of your benefits and what type of a product you're looking for. So we just started by manufacturing, and then I realized that as time goes on, my clients are asking for more. Do you package? Do you brand? We want a one-stop shop. And I realized that there was an opportunity, and I started investigating on it and started giving a full-on service. So how possible was it for me to be in this industry and more or less succeed in manufacturing? I think the digital space allowed me to enter there and allowed me to speak to a wider group, because it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for social media. It wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for e-commerce to reach the clients that I have currently. So I really believe that the enabler was the digital space that we play in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that something that resonates with you, Mathebe, in your experience?
Yeah, so Beauty on Tap is a fully digital company. We don't have any walk-in stores. And we have kind of like a full digital ecosystem, from our online store where we retail a whole lot of products to leveraging social media, Instagram and all of them, and even having a skin consultation service on our platform. So we just have like a full digital service offering to make sure that we reach our audience. And I think, during the pandemic, with everyone being at home and people kind of like trusting digital a whole lot more and leaning on digital to learn a lot more about their skin, to learn a lot more about everything. I mean, I think during the pandemic, everyone went and, got cooking lessons and signed up for, online courses. It just became a way of life. So Tendani is 100% correct, and Missy as well, that digital really kind of helped spur growth in a lot of industries. industry is not just beauty, but beauty is such a visual industry. It's an industry where people want to see what a product looks like. They want to see the texture. They want to, see what the makeup looks like after you set it and so on. And so anyone who's starting a beauty business has to look at what their digital strategy is. It's so important. And even just building trust with people, you kind of have to leverage this full ecosystem to make sure that people trust your brand as well and trust that you're going to deliver their order, because there's a lot of scamming.
Social media has made people more accountable now as well.
Yeah.
Holding people more accountable.
Yeah, so social media has really helped with building that trust as well into e-commerce.
Mm-hmm. Tendani, I want to come back to you just to reflect a little bit on what Mathebe is saying about people trusting digital a lot more post the pandemic. Have you found that to be true for you as well?
I found that it's true when what you say is what you do, and being accountable for what's happening within your space. So if something has gone wrong, to be accountable and really have a discussion, not offline, but online, so that people get to know that if things do go wrong, there is a solution that can be done. So for me, I really like to interact in that space because it gives me credibility. It also shows my clients or my potential clients that things can go wrong. And at that point, we will deal with that issue as it comes, and it won't be something that is closed behind the doors.
Mm-hmm. And Missy, I know that I have my influences that I rely on. I'm like, this person says this is a great product, it's a great product. And I think everybody has that kind of touch point of, the people that you rely on online who might be influencers, content creators, who are working in that kind of space. How have you developed an audience that trusts you and trusts your opinion when you're working with brands?
It's very hard. But I think it takes time. I think being accessible is one way that you really build trust, because if you are putting out content to your audience and engaging with them and talking to them and not like ignoring them or just posting your content and then not engaging, you have to be involved with your audience and the people who follow you. When they ask you questions, you have to be there. And you also can't just show up and not be there. And then when it comes to working with brands that's where your opinion needs to be trusted, that's a lot of influencers will work with any brand if there's like a bag in it. But it's very important because it's very obvious. It's very obvious when you can see that the brand and the influencer is not aligned, or if this person is just doing it for the job. But that's where it comes in, where you have to be able to back up what you're promoting. You can't be saying one thing and then working with a brand that doesn't align with what you're doing, for example, because then people will pick that up and then they won't trust you. Also with brands, you have to, like she said, do what you're supposed to be doing. Do as you say you're going to do. If a brand is relying on you to promote or it has a certain brief for you, you can give them feedback for what fits in with your audience. You can also just be professional so that they know that they can rely on you. Because that's what they're employing you for. A lot of the time you're a human being and life happens, but you have to sort of deliver at the end of the day and show up, essentially. And that's where you build your trust.
Mm-hmm. And I'd like to take you back just a little bit, because everybody has a beauty memory, a beauty story. What are your earliest memories with beauty products and marketing? And what was a major influence on your current work, your current enterprise that you've entered into, the kinds of memories that have influenced the way you run your business? I'm going to start with Mathebe.
So the whole premise of Beauty on Tap was to give small beauty businesses a shop front, to give women who make their own cosmetics a shop front. The business started off as a find a beauty service app, and I just had a lady who used to come to my house to braid my hair. And people would always be like, who does your braids? And I'd be like, it's this lady and she comes to my house. And I just thought it would be really nice if, mobile beauty service providers had a platform where their services could be showcased. And for me, it was more than just building a business and making profit. It's always just been about giving small brands a shop front. And so that's kind of like every time I think about the business, I think of the lady who braids me. She still braids me even now for like the past 10 years. So that's why I'm so passionate about helping small businesses, because I know that she'd always say that your app actually helps me. So I've always been like a beauty person. I've always loved beauty stuff, like, you know, my mom and I are like completely different. I love like nails and long weaves. Today I've got my natural hair, but I love beauty stuff. So it kind of makes sense that I went into this industry, because by profession, I'm a CA, an accountant who went into beauty and tech. So I went back to my passion, and just helping people as well has been the greatest gift in the whole business.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're finding that the pivot is actually a more common story than we think. I think everybody usually thinks that people who pivoted, that's the kind of the exception. Mm. But most people have pivoted or are going to pivot during the course of their careers, particularly as millennials and Gen Zs are definitely more multi-hyphenate oriented in ways that sometimes the market just demands you to be. The shifts that we've witnessed over time, the recessions that we've witnessed over time, the pandemic.
Yeah.
You
And they call it the Great Resignation.
Yeah. So there's so many different factors that influence, you know, the ways that we pivot our careers. And I think that, you know, when I'm listening to your story, I'm always thinking about the fact that for me, as a writer, as an editor, seeing that beauty writing, beauty editing, something that was so looked down upon in our patriarchal society, was so meaningful for legions of people. And I wanna come to you, Tendani, just to speak to the same question. What is your earliest memory with products, and how has that influenced now this career as a formulator, which you speak so passionately about?
I think my earliest memory is that beauty is expensive, you know. It's so out of the reach in terms of almost every woman accessing beauty products. And the other notion was more about the higher the price, the better the product. And that's what really formed my my analysis around beauty. But besides that, the moment I entered into the beauty industry, I then realized that the same products that are sold as premium priced are products that I can make, that there isn't anything really special around how to make these products. And what is special is how you then market these brands. Based on the fact that skincare or body care is mainly accessible to those who have money, I've gone and kind of taken that myth away to say products are affordable, and safe products can be made from a one-man manufacturer, as I started by my own, and you can use these products and get your results.
I want to come to you, Mathebe, just to speak to what are your must-have digital tools that you use?
So Canva, we use Canva every single day. We do like pitch presentations for brands, just content, you know, like story content. So Canva is really important for any online business. Mm-hmm. Google Analytics, absolutely important. That tells us what people are searching, word searches. We see what people are clicking on. And so our content for the day can respond to, these are the words that people were like looking at for the day, and even like just how we word stuff in our captions, we'll pick up on those words and link it to our to what people are searching on our Google Analytics. And then we use, for our photography, because we post every single day, we use like our editing apps. Mm-hmm. Lightroom, I think all content heavy people use Lightroom, and obviously then we use our all our social media platforms. And I mean, we can see an ingredient is trending for the day, and you literally post a TikTok with that ingredient and you get sales for the day. So I always say that any business that still wants to grow needs to be on TikTok, because it has audiences from every social platform sitting on one platform. So you have your older generation, younger generation, you have your high income, low income, mid income people.
Yeah, does sound similar to what you're using, Missy?
Well, for me, I need a phone, a smartphone, right? That would be my number one digital tool. A smartphone that can do everything that a camera and the laptop that can do, because I'm always on the move, and a lot of the stuff that I'm doing is on the move. So I'm always needing to capture pictures or videos, and then on that smartphone I need a bunch of tools. So I need a video editing app, I need a photo editing app, so I use CapCut for video editing. It's a very, very handy app. It does everything that I need. I used to have to use Final Cut on my laptop, but I haven't looked back since I've downloaded CapCut. It does everything you need. And then I have a Windows bundle for Excel and PowerPoint. I also use Lightroom, and then I use Facetune to edit some pictures. And what else? Video calling for like Zoom and stuff like that, because I work from home, so everything needs to sort of be on my phone.
And I think that's kind of across the board, right?
Yep.
This need for a phone that can do
Everything. Yeah.
all of the time.
I have my laptop in front of me, but I'll read my email on my phone, and they look at me like, "Why are you working on your phone?" I'm like,
Literally, I'm responding to my emails. My laptops, I use my laptop to watch Netflix. That's what I while I'm working on my phone.
Tendani, is it the same for you? Different?
It's very much the same for with Mathebe. The only thing is, when Canva started, I joined Canva, and when they started now making you pay for the pro version, because we were there, we were given it for free, so I never pay for the pro version.
No, thank you, everybody. I think we've all learned so much from each other and about what our businesses entail, and they're so different, but yet we all need kind of the same things in order to do them, which is really interesting, from, you know, being a writer and editor and host to being content creator, formulator, someone with an online store. You know, it's interesting to see what similar types of connectivity we need, technology we need, and, you know, the similar ways that our creative businesses operate and what they need in order to do so. So thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks.
And that's it for this episode of Live Beyond with Oppo. Thank you to our amazing guests and to Oppo for creating a platform to connect and to inspire. Follow Oppo on social media for sneak peeks and giveaways. And thank you for watching.